Dave Meltzer and Bryan Alvarez said Solo Sikoa couldn't be a babyface. They were wrong. Not a little wrong, spectacularly, embarrassingly wrong. Because right now, Solo Sikoa didn't just back into being a babyface. He's the biggest babyface in WWE, full stop. WWE's biggest babyface is dripping with charisma like the Just for Men in Dave Meltzer's hair. And today, we're going to talk about why the rise of Solo Sikoa is bad news for his critics and could manifest itself as yet another roadblock for LA Knight. Subscribe in Swahili.
Who is Dave Meltzer? Why would I care what this guy said?
The Streets Stan Solo Sikoa. Their words and mine. Solo is a natural babyface. Keep him over forever. Babyface Solo is straight up money. Everybody loves Solo Sikoa. Solo Sikoa is genuinely the best character in WWE right now. Solo Sikoa is comedy gold. This version of Solo is absolutely amazing. That's why I love Solo. Solo is the best thing in WWE. Solo is the best person on the planet. Never make Solo a heel ever again. That man has become the best thing on WWE TV. Bruh, Solo is cooking Jey Uso. I'm all for babyface Solo Sikoa. We pushed the wrong Rikishi son to the top. If you're not a Solo Sikoa fan in Big 2026, you're absolutely insane. Deadpan Dave Meltzer was wrong about likability? Oh shit, that's me. Jamie Foxx shooting every single slave owner at the end of Django Unchained. Oh shit, that's me again. Dave Meltzer has made a career out of being wrong about wrestling, and babyface Solo is the latest example. Solo Sikoa debuted on the main roster as an enforcer for the Bloodline after a successful run in NXT. Then he was betrayed by his cousins after starting a Bloodline spinoff in the MFTs. Usually a heel getting betrayed by other heels is a death sentence, but for Solo Dolo, it was a renaissance. These days, you can find Solo mocking Jay's own Yeet entrance back at him mid-match, or singing a parody version of Jay's own song. Solo is getting bigger pops these days than most people's finishers, and the mixture of comedy with main event credibility is starting to remind me of another Anoa'i family member. This isn't a reach, but babyface Solo reminds me of a young Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Their words and mine. Charisma isn't about being nice. Lovable as Solo Sikoa is, it really isn't even about being likable. Charisma is like the sorting hat in Harry Potter in that it chooses you. When Solo Sikoa put on the charismatic sorting hat, it made him a goofy-ass Gryffindor in the best way. When Dave Meltzer put on that same hat, it was all like, this cracker's hair smells like ammonia. Then they stuck him in a messy office. But Solo was different. Despite seeming to be on the tail end of the mid-card, with Bloodline fatigue out in full force, WWE did the same thing with Solo that they did with LA Knight when he was on his deathbed as Max Dupree. They just let him be himself. For most of his run, Solo Sikoa was booked as the Bloodline heavy. He was always serious. He was never supposed to crack a smile. Notice how I said he was never supposed to crack a smile, because Solo is a shoot goofball who broke character on television constantly. He was always the first one to corpse during those iconic Sami Zayn segments. Solo looks the part of a badass Samoan tough guy, but he's really the funniest guy on the roster. Plus, WWE needs another screaming Samoan badass the way AEW needs another vanilla white wrestling zombie like Will Ospreay, Kyle Fletcher, or Kenny Omega, who are all essentially the same exact guy. Fans love a redemption arc, so when Solo became a babyface to combat Bloodline 2.0, it felt like a rerun on paper, but IRL, it was a welcome change that launched a main eventer. Solo's got years of hate banked up, and he's cashing it in for sympathy. Even with the Bloodline getting cheers as a heel stable, which is its own problem in WWE these days, Solo Sikoa is unbooable. More importantly, babyface Solo is a social media sensation. The Solo Sikoa yeeted clips racked up hundreds of thousands of views on small channels within days. Solo's pew-pew mockery of Jey Uso and vibing to the Day One theme song has amassed millions of views across WWE's social media channels. In fact, WWE's social media team treats Bloodline segments like a Solo Sikoa clip farm, because Solo has more weekly highlights in one promo than every Uso in this company has on an entire show. Dave Meltzer spent all of 2026 being wrong. He was just wrong about WWE's PLEs getting canceled by ESPN. And now, the guy that this idiot Dave Meltzer said couldn't be beloved is now the most lovable thing on the entire show!
Solo's supposed to be a babyface. He calls out Seth. I think we're supposed to like him, but he's still a total heel.
He's not very likable.
No.
He's not a natural babyface at all.
He isn't.
Everybody here in Los Angeles, California, they love where Solo's at, baby!
It's Powerball season, so I'm gonna need Dementia Dave to tell me what the losing numbers are so I can become an overnight billionaire. Drop the numbers in the comments if you're watching, David. In a land of too many baby faces, Solo Sikoa is a good guy god. And this is where it gets interesting for LA Knight fans, and you're not going to like it. LA Knight is in a feud with Roman Reigns where Solo Sikoa is being positioned to, quote, report back to the bloodline. Everyone assumes that's Solo's whole function, a tracking device with tribal tats. Solo Sikoa is a side character in what figures to be a long feud between Knight and Reigns. Jacob Fatu was similarly forced to join the bloodline after losing to Reigns, and his arc seems to be destined to end in a rebellion. But what if Knight, Reigns, and Fatu isn't the ending that WWE's building toward? Even if it is, what if it's the wrong ending now that Solo has gotten so hot? Pro wrestling, much like AI, changes exponentially on a dime, and the more information bookers receive, the more storylines are likely to change to match fan reaction. Bryan Danielson, Kofi Kingston, and even Chelsea Green are examples of that. And even though LA Knight is finally getting a proper feud with Roman Reigns, with Jacob Fatu waiting in the wings, what if Solo Sikoa takes the crown for himself? Every fan is clamoring for LA Knight to finally get his world title. Fine. That seems to be the people's pick, and that's what WWE is building toward. But WWE doesn't hand the guy everyone's already rooting for the finish line that easily. LA Knight himself found that out the hard way when he lost to Roman Reigns in 2023. Now that LA Knight is spinning the block on Roman Reigns, he has enforcements. Royce Keys helped Team LA Knight beat the Bloodline at SummerSlam, but Royce was taken out by Jacob Fatu on Raw. Solo was positioned as the enforcer sent to spy, but this is exactly the type of Trojan horse role that turns Solo into the guy who steals the moment. He's already got the sympathy and the momentum. He's already proven he can hold his own in a spotlight match, and despite being allies in storyline, Solo Sikoa is coming for LA Knight's spot. The report back to the bloodline angle isn't a leash, it's a loaded 9mm Smith & Wesson Glock 22. The second Solo decides he doesn't want to report back anymore, that's the moment that the story flips from Knight versus Reigns to Solo Sikoa, world title contender. Solo might even kill two birds with one stone because Solo rejecting his bloodline duties has been the plan for Jacob Fatu for months. Everybody's watching LA Knight's hands, waiting for him to grab the brass ring. Nobody's watching Solo. And that's exactly how you steal a crown, the way Paris stole Helen of Troy, or the way Edge stole Lita. This would be a dream scenario for WWE because while WWE does push LA Knight, his combination of age and not being a WWE guy will always place him behind a glass ceiling. But Solo Sikoa is a complete opposite. He's young, he is a day one WWE guy, and suddenly he's a main character in one of WWE's favorite families, and most importantly, he's over enough to where fans wouldn't revolt if he stole Knight's thunder. Meltzer and Alvarez, the Statler and Waldorf of pro wrestling, but if they weren't funny, said Solo didn't have it. He's just not likable. WWE is trying to get Solo over. Meanwhile, the guy's out here popping half the WWE roster and all of social media with a shrug and a smirk, all while getting the loudest reactions in every building, including right here in Inglewood at the Intuit Dome where I was there live, thank you Netflix. WWE's history of overbooking bloodline stories means there's a real risk of over-explaining Solo's redemption instead of letting the crowd's organic reaction do the work. Nobody's expecting Solo Sikoa to actually work with the bloodline again, even if he has marching orders to report back. But the right move is to let the report back angle breathe for a few more weeks. WWE has a lot of time between now and their next PLE in October. So let Solo's likability compound while slowly building to the turn that everybody knows is coming so they can salivate it more. This will only help to build on Solo's already surging momentum. Solo Sikoa isn't just doing fine as a babyface. He's the biggest babyface WWE has right now. And if WWE plays this right, the guy Meltzer and Brian Bonaparte wrote off as unlikable could walk out of this Knight Reigns feud as the one holding the title. Babyface Solo fell into WWE's lap, but their lap is already filled with babyfaces because somewhere along the line, WWE forgot how to make heels anyone actually hates. For more on that, check out this video.